Chaotically Nerdy is a podcast made by nerds for nerds. This podcast is made by adults, for adults, and children with bad parents. Adult language will be used and adult situations may arise. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Chaotically Nerdy. On this week's episode is me, Tyler.
And me, Jarrett.
And me, Ethan.
And this week, we're going to be bullshitting. It's mostly...
It's going to be so much different than what we normally do.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so surprised it took us 2 years to get to an episode where we're just bullshitting the entire time.
I know, and my worry is that we're going to go for like an hour and a half.
We don't have
We
a
could
script.
totally
I
go.
know.
We're doing it live, folks. Well, we always do it live.
Fuck it, we're doing it live.
Kind of, but
Well, yeah.
there's no reins.
Yeah, that is true.
Free.
There is no
Yeah.
reins. So
No
Ash-
pants.
I have pants on.
I have pants on.
I have shorts on.
Well, I mean, they're shorts, but I
I
consider the
always
pants-
wear jeans. I'd never wear anything but jeans.
That is
In
true.
bed, shower, it's...
Have you ever worn shorts, Ethan?
I have. I used to wear cargo shorts.
I mean, didn't we all?
That checks out.
Yeah.
Yeah. What does that mean? What does that mean? They were...
Ethan, we're a type. Hefty guys with beards wear cargo shorts.
It's true.
Yeah.
I wear them too.
Yeah, I just got to buy some new Hey Dudes and I'm good to go.
Hey,
You want mine?
Hey, don't,
I
hey,
got
Mine
you.
are
Jarrett,
Hey Dude house shoes. Look at these.
I was saying, Hey Dudes are one of the best things ever created.
Yeah, they're like
They're so-
Crocs,
Yeah,
but better.
for straight dudes and lesbians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are so comfortable.
No,
Sorry,
they're
folks.
not that comfortable.
The people
I love
with
them.
sense, straight dudes and lesbians.
I love them. They're comfortable.
I don't think they're that comfortable.
I think they are.
There's such.
If you
more
get the right
comfortable shoes.
brand, they are. Like, you have to get ones with solid solid soles. If you get the ones with like the really floppy soles, you'll like slide off the edges of them and stuff, and they'll get all like twisted and stuff.
This is not the kind of bullshitting that I
was
meant
like,
we
what-
were gonna
what's
do.
wrong with this?
There's
Now
nothing wrong with it. We just had a sort of plan,
Yeah.
and we immediately derailed.
Hey, this is like D&D, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is very much
Here's
like
the
our
road.
D&D campaign.
Fuck you. Left turn.
Speaking of D&D, that's another episode that we need to talk about, and now feels like a good time to do it since we're technically just bullshitting. You all switched to Pathfinder.
Sure.
We're going to do a Pathfinder episode. I'm reading the book slowly.
I know.
It's dense.
because I need it because it's
Well,
got stuff
all you
in
have
it.
to do is tell him you need it, and he can get it back. I can get it back some
I
other
need
time.
it every Sunday when we play.
Okay, well, I will look through it this week and
No.
then
You
get it back to
take
you.
you take your time.
He doesn't need it.
I don't. I have a phone.
Yeah.
It has access to everything.
Yeah.
It's fine. I'm just giving you shit.
He literally, though, last Sunday, he was like, where's the book? I'm like, Tyler still has it.
Yeah. I'd be 100%
I rolled
honest
my
with
eyes at you. I remember. I was like,
I was like,
you. Yeah. I look through like
it's a dense book.
it's a lot bigger of a rule book.
classes.
All of them
like,
are.
Classes was the extent that I got to. But we're going to do an episode. If you would like, you can join our Discord and tell us some things that you would like to hear specifically about Pathfinder. Right now, my main plan is to like talk about the differences, which could be fucking 3 hours worth, but very specific differences, meaning I can't remember specifically because I didn't write it down what was different, but I know there was something that was very like,
Action economy.
yeah.
Generally, the biggest
Levels of
difference
success.
between like 5th edition and the other editions of D&D and Pathfinder is specificity.
Mm-hmm.
So how specific like the stats and everything go, and how specific like certain roles work. That's all it is. But there's
much-
also a lot more. It's also a lot more modular for the players to actually be doing things more interesting. That's my
Gotcha.
general
Yeah.
synopsis. So we'll
yeah.
be expanding on that.
Pathfinder is a lot more codified in its rules, as in you only DM the one shot.
Yeah. That was
Me and
only
Ethan
to
have
enter.
a lot of experience DMing 5e. There's a lot of stuff that they just go DM has to kind of make
it's
up. or
it's a
fix.
problem.
Yeah.
Right.
Whereas
And
Pathfinder is like, there are like hard coded rules in there for a bunch of stuff that we used to just hand wave.
it's one of those weird, like almost paradoxical things where the fact that it is so hard coded rules that it actually provides more freedom. Whereas you're limited by the lack of rules in 5e.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more stuff that the DM has to do. So if you have a DM who's inexperienced, if you have a DM who's not super creative, you're going to have a problem playing 5e and making it interesting. And the fact that we're all crazy and have problems makes D&D 5e fun,
Yeah.
right? And the fact that we get along, generally speaking, made 5e fun. Not everyone has that experience from what I've talked to. So
Yeah. A lot of Reddit posts are like, this sucks.
That's Reddit's posts are
Which-
also just full of introverts and
Yes.
that don't know how to
Reddit's-
communicate with other humans.
They're also full of cunts.
Yeah, that too.
well, and see, most people, from what I can tell, their problem is because when you talk to them, they say, somebody who says they don't like D&D or they don't like tabletop RPGs, and you talk to them about their experiences with tabletop RPGs, most of the time they're going to say, well, this person did that.
Yeah.
This person made it bad. And that's almost inevitably what the answer is. And you know what? I can agree to that because I've played in groups before we started playing. I played in groups that were not fun to play in. So, and I stopped almost immediately and thought, well, I like the video games, but I'm not really big on the actual thing.
There's the old saying of no D&D is better than bad D&D.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Talking about Reddit people being cunts, I just posted because I finally added the sound panels to my walls in the office, and so the room is white. My desk is white. My computer case is white. There's a lot of white and there's a lot of black.
Oh, okay. There we go.
And you thought it was going to be a racist thing.
I was waiting for you. Mhm,
No,
yeah.
there's a lot of white and a lot of black. Not a whole
Stormtrooper build.
Basically, there's not a whole
Very
lot
clean.
of color. Well, I posted it in battle stations, and
Yeah.
like most of the people are just,
Shitting on you.
yeah.
Yeah, that's Reddit though.
I know there's been cunts about it. Although there was one that's like perhaps add some color to make it less like a hospital.
Yeah, this is like
I think it's Joda because
That's
look
funny.
at the name.
Is it Joda.
It's Joda 175.
Joda, if this is you, blink.
He doesn't listen.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
It'd be funny.
Take a picture of that
Send it
like,
to him.
and
send it
send
to
it to him. Yeah.
Like, hey,
But
cunt.
I got shit on because I just made like that was the first comment that I seen.
Here's what I'm telling you. I think if you had posted that 4 years ago.
Oh yeah, people would have loved it.
Yeah, but now minimalism, monochromatic stuff is like
Yeah.
out.
But
Now it's all rainbow RPG.
I posted a comment as a joke
Makes
back
it go
to it.
faster. What's wrong with that?
Yeah. I posted a comment as a joke back to that comment of telling me to add some color because it was the only comment on the post at the time. And I was like, but playing video games in the hospital are so similar. You get screwed over by both. And I have been downvoted to hell on that. Well, 13.
You want to know what my first experience posting on Reddit was? This was when we had first started DMing or playing D&D, and I DM'd for the first time, and I needed something with acid damage, and I just posted that like, hey, what are some creatures with that do acid damage or something? And I got -9 down, or I got 9 downvotes just for posting that. I was like, why?
It's arbitrary.
Why?
It makes no
I
sense.
just asked
It
a
really
question.
doesn't make sense because I posted the same setup without the black panels on the wall. I got 70 upvotes and not a single comment about color. I was like, what's the difference here? The fact that I added black? But I digress.
And that happens on everything. Same thing. It's a very similar thing happened to me on the shitty car mods Reddit, whatever
Yeah.
it is. Yeah. And I saw somebody and they had literal wood on their door. Like their door
Yeah.
was made of wood.
Yeah.
On a regular, I think it was a Beretta.
That's a gun.
The Chevy had a
Yeah, Red Beretta Run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I hear Beretta, brain goes,
It is a gun.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
All the doors were different colors.
Yeah.
And one of them was wood.
yeah.
Someone had put wood paneling on the outside of the door. I just took a picture of it. I think it was in St. Louis or Kansas City or something. I don't remember where it was, but I just took a picture of it and I just posted it on Reddit shitty car mods, and I got downvoted like several times, and that's all that happened. No one commented on it.
Yeah.
No one upvoted. It's
just-
arbitrary. It doesn't make no.
it makes no sense.
You don't worry about it.
So
I
now-
never were. I was just like, this is a weird thing that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now back to some form of.
Nope. Fuck you.
No, this is chaos.
It is chaos. What have you two been watching lately?
Oh,
because we're going to start talking about what we've been watching as of late.
What,
Ethan.
okay.
What have I been watching lately? Well, I just finished all that I want to watch of NCIS again. Which is
Up
I don't know
until
if you've
Tony
ever
leaves?
what?
Up until Tony leaves?
Well, no, what it is Tony leaves and then it starts going downhill and then Abby
Or is
and
it-
Gibbs leave.
Yeah.
And then it's like a wash after that. The show's done. There's like 8 more seasons, but
Yeah.
the show is over.
I've
now.
never watched NCIS.
because
It's a fun or not. I hate to say it's fun. It's for procedural.
show.
It's fine.
it's a
It's
procedural,
watchable.
but the characters they have work really well
Yeah.
together.
Good characters.
in the first like 14, 15 seasons, and then they get rid of Tony. And Tony, well, it's Tony and Ducky and Gibbs and Abby and they
McGee
and McGee, and then they trade out Ziva and Kate, and Ziva really works out.
What's the blonde chick that comes in after? I know the actress's name. It's Emily Wickersham, but I cannot remember her character's name. I don't know why.
I can't remember it off the top of my head right now either.
She's fine. But
She's okay. She's good. She's interesting.
Tony and Ziva were like
Well, that was the love interest.
that was the love interest. That's what kept you going.
Yeah.
It was they give you the crumb of like, will they, won't they?
And it's a really good show. It's procedural, but there's a lot of content. You can watch a bunch of it in one go and binge it.
Ellie Bishop.
It's Ellie.
Ethan, this makes sense that like I like NCIS, but you have the personality of like a 60-year-old,
I do, yeah.
which is what the demographic of NCIS is.
I always have though. Like, I love.
Yeah, I know.
I loved Golden Girls.
I watched it because my parents watched it.
That's like the little bits that I have seen of it have been because my grandparents had it on.
Oh yeah. I can see your grandpa watching the shit.
It wasn't
out
even
of
him. He
Oh,
didn't care.
really?
He doesn't care about TV.
Oh, I could. Roger reminds me of Gibbs so much.
Yeah.
Just a hard ass.
But I really don't
No, he
know
doesn't
what I'm
watch
watching.
TV.
What I'm watching
He's-
now, like
he's-
TV
he's
shows.
outside.
I don't know what I'm watching now. I'm watching a lot of YouTube. Is what I'm watching.
Jarrett. Actually, that's me. I forgot to subtract the him going. So it is me. I've rewatched, or not rewatched, I watched for the first time the not full, take that with a grain of salt, the new Planet of the Apes series. So I've seen Rise, but I've never seen Dawn or War. So
I'm assuming you've not seen the newest one.
I have not. But
Or
what
any
Are
of
you
the
are you
old
excited to after watching the three other ones? Are you excited to go see it, or not to go see it, but to watch it at some point?
yes.
Okay.
Because, and not even because of watching the other movies. Like I could care, like to me, the newest movie is a standalone movie from everything I've seen. Yes, you need to know about Caesar to a degree, but you don't
it's
really.
essentially the start of a new trilogy.
It is.
which
And
it is. But
I'm more excited because I have seen a ton of press from, I think it's Kevin Durant,
yes, he's awesome.
and he is amazing. And it's legitimately got me running around the house with my arms stretched out, yelling, "What a wonderful day!" And like that's how I started the days in the in the podcast for a couple days. I would just post that GIF of "What a wonderful day," and I'm
I'm
just
trying to remember what he's in.
and I was waiting on Sam to divorce me because of
yeah.
it. But I really,
Oh, he plays Blob in X-Men Origins.
yes, he plays that, and he plays Harvard in Vikings.
I
thought
watched
you
Vikings.
watched Vikings.
No, I watched about the first half of season 1. I was like,
Gotcha.
it's not as good as Last
Would've made it
Kingdom.
there.
Have you ever watched the originals or the Tim Burton?
Oh, the originals.
So it's funny. We were
I thought
talking
you were
about
the show, the originals. I was
No,
like,
no,
this
no.
is a segue.
No,
Ethan.
no, no,
I was
no.
like, this is a hell of a segue.
No, it's not.
I've never
I mean,
watched.
Planet of the Apes.
Never watched-
I have seen the originals, so
Have never watched the originals. I've seen bits and pieces of the Tim Burton one.
Yeah, I think I've
On
seen I've
TV.
seen the end of the Tim Burton,
that's what you need. That's
which
all
I
it
was
is.
like, I was kind of confused by it. I was like,
It's Planet of the Apes. It's confusing to begin with. So if it's
Time travel.
not the Caesars,
yeah. We
line,
just talked. We talked about like time as a loopy mess. I know in the originals it's like a cyclical time loop, right? Like
Yeah,
a paradoxical time loop, I guess.
yeah.
There is no beginning or end. It just keeps going.
No,
Well,
but I really
because
like
it's
him.
Charlton Heston. And
Yeah.
Charlton Heston, he's in space, and then he does some weird like old like light speed travel type thing, and then he ends up on a strange planet that's full of apes that are enslaving humans,
And can talk.
and then he
the
finds
humans
out
can't talk.
he finds out that the planet is actually Earth in the future from where he's from. That's what it is. So he went a long way, or he thought, at a really fast pace, and he came back or landed on a new planet.
Time dilation, bitch.
Time dilation.
Yeah.
That's all it was. And then they have movies after that. There's like 5 or 6 movies.
I thought there's like 6. There's a lot.
I think it's like 6.
And they, from what I can tell, they get worse.
Oh yeah, they do. I've seen them all. The only thing I haven't seen for Planet of the Apes is the old animated series.
Oh, that's right. There is an anime.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah. But there was like a TV show, and then they had those 6 movies. I just haven't seen the animated because I apparently went this weird stage of mania where I decided to watch that garbage. But I don't suggest watching all of them, but watch the original Charlton Heston one.
Gotcha.
It's not bad.
Yeah. There's
not bad at
actually
all.
Well,
a,
I don't know. You're kind of turned off by old effects.
sometimes.
So,
It,
They're not effects. They are.
Well, like-
they're practical.
Yep.
yeah.
Well, they're
I've
impractical
seen,
practical effects.
like, don't get
yeah.
me wrong, it looks bad, but I think I could get through it.
Yeah.
It's by far nowhere near the worst offender.
Yeah.
On that front, they look like people in monkey masks.
The other thing that I've watched or have been watching is I watched The Iron Claw.
Hey.
It's a really good movie. Sam hated me for watching it.
Oh, it's my favorite conversation.
Yeah.
See, you say I don't talk in the Discord, but you just have to pique
Bring
my
up the right things.
yeah.
Yeah.
You have to pique my interest. I don't give a
Yeah.
bitch shit about everybody's day to day. Sorry, I just don't.
No.
That's the way I am.
Wow.
I don't like.
Wow.
I don't care enough to comment
Just
about
middle
it
fingers to all of
No.
our Discord people.
Yeah.
because to me, my opinion
the
on
light.
your life does not matter. It doesn't. I don't care.
Yeah. I mean, you're
So,
not wrong, though.
yeah.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
But
But if
yeah.
you say something that piques my interest, like wrestling or basketball,
Did watch that.
Yeah.
And then I've been watching a shitload of Peppa Pig. So listen, Stella she's into Peppa right now. She'll look at that TV as soon as Netflix comes up. Like,
It could be worse.
you hit Netflix and it's Peppa, Peppa, Peppa. And then as soon as it's
No.
playing the theme song, she's sitting there snorting like a pig. And I'm like, okay, this is too adorable to not let you do
I've
it.
seen a lot of Peppa Pig. It really though, there are parts where it's actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
Surprisingly.
And then I've watched Solo Leveling. Like, I've watched a lot more here lately, it seems like.
Are you caught up on Bluey?
Oh, yeah. Watch that shit when it comes out. Yeah, there was, they
At
did like
midnight when everyone's asleep.
and this is somehow between like you and Ashley, I just get like information that there's like new like children's shows out, and I'm like, what do I do with this? I don't need to know this. Like, why do I know this stuff?
Yeah.
Bluey's good.
I know.
The fucking
But, like-
sign.
I don't need to know it, Ethan.
Watch it.
You should watch it. It's very good for adults. Like, it's not,
actually good for adults.
it's animated, but it's perfectly fine
They're
for an adult
short.
to watch.
They're not long.
Yeah, they're 7 minutes.
They're easy to get through.
They really are. But the sign tore me up. I don't know if you've watched that.
The
Yes.
sign.
It's
watched it.
it's the Bluey episode.
Oh.
So they released a
I'm not
few
caught up. So.
they released a few that are like weekly basically.
Yeah.
And the sign was one of them, and it was like a 30-minute episode.
What happens? I may have seen it and just didn't know the name.
It's like brand new. So they're trying to sell Chili and Bandit's house because they're gonna move for a job, and the sister is getting married, or the brother Rad is getting married, and it's a lot of shit going on for a Bluey episode. There's a lot of shit going on that one, and it just ends, and it's heartbreaking, like in a good way, because somebody else like they decide not to sell their house basically. And the dad like rips the sign out of the ground, and all the family hugs him and starts crying because they're so happy that they're not having to move because they didn't want to move from their house. That's
This sounds like an episode of Family Matters.
basically. Solo Leveling was
Better written.
fucking great.
I still have yet to watch it.
I cannot wait to talk about that, which we need to talk about when we're going to talk about that. We can do that after this.
I can watch it Monday.
Yeah.
I probably won't.
You could actually crank through it Monday.
Yeah.
But either way,
Why are you rolling?
I don't need to. I forgot.
Where do you want to start with me?
Watching. What have you watched?
Which side?
What do you mean, what side?
TV, movies.
I don't care.
TV.
Okay.
TV.
Well, I recently just finished last week Outer Range season 2. I like it. It's you guys know Tom Pelfrey. He was in Iron
Probably.
Fist. Ward in Iron Fist.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
He's like he was in Ozarks. Played the
Yeah.
crazy brother in Ozarks. He's awesome in Outer Range. The rest of the show is kind of it's Josh Brolin being Josh Brolin. He plays the dad.
Okay.
It's kind of like a weird like sci-fi western because they're in Montana, but there's like a fucking sinkhole through time in their pasture. It's weird. The premise doesn't make a whole lot of fucking sense to me, but
Yeah, you're not selling it great.
No, it's fine. It's not a bad show. It's not a great show. It's fine. If I'm saying it's fine, you're not gonna like it. You're not gonna like it because I have the highest scale here for enjoyability usually.
You have the lowest expectations.
Yes, if I say it's fine, but Tom Pelfrey in it is awesome. So that's what I just finished watching last week. Movie I just watched Challengers yesterday,
I'm sitting here like, what the fuck is
and
Challenger?
it's the Zendaya tennis movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah, as soon as you said that, I was like, that sounds familiar,
Yeah.
but
It's good. Ethan will not like it because it's a super sexualized
version.
movie in general. He doesn't like super sexualized things, but Zendaya is good in it. And she's good in a lot of things. Her character's awful, like an awful person in it, but she plays it amazingly.
That's good. I mean, she usually does pretty well at whatever
Yes.
she does. I mean,
Yeah, I was on like a real Zendaya kick because I watched Dune 2 and then I watched that in the same day.
you were just like, I'm gonna re-binge Euphoria, and
Now I probably will when season 3 comes out.
I won't re-binge it, but I'll watch season 3.
And then finished X-Men 97.
Was it good?
Oh yeah.
Have you watched it, Ethan?
Oh, it's so good.
No, I have not.
So good. Easily the best thing that Disney's put out ever. I'm not fucking kidding.
I don't doubt it.
It's amazing.
I've heard a lot of really good things about it.
I plan on rewatching Lost again because this is the 20th anniversary of when it debuted this
Gotcha.
year. And then today, as of recording this episode, I was in St. Louis all day at a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament.
Oh,
Yeah.
My first Yu-Gi-Oh tournament. I had fun. It was fun. I'm exhausted though.
And how did it go?
I went 3-3 through 6 rounds out of 8. I had to leave. Had to come back to record a podcast.
I mean, you could have stayed. We could have been like, take a break.
No.
We could have broke in. Yeah.
No, it would have been 10 o'clock before I got home.
Oh.
I did not want to drive at night for 3 hours.
I don't
I
blame
was
you.
like, I will probably fall asleep.
Yeah, especially after being up there all day.
I've been up for 16 hours or whatever it would have been at that point. But
He's leaving out a very important part of the 3-3.
oh well, 2 of them were just freebie wins. I started 0-3 and then got 2 freebie wins because one guy didn't show up and the other guy just immediately surrendered.
Okay, the immediate surrender thing, that is not just a buy. Even though it is a buy.
Yeah.
It's not just a buy because that dude was like,
He was definitely had a bad day and was tilted. Because he did not want to play against my deck specifically. My version, or not my version,
so
but my
you won the battle before it started.
yes,
He looked at
See,
the deck.
that's a
and said,
win.
I told him a dub's a dub.
it is a dub, but I would have liked to play
And just to see.
just to play.
Yeah.
I like Yu-Gi-Oh. I like playing Yu-Gi-Oh.
Well, I mean, those things are buy-ins, right? So, I mean, if you're going to buy in and then you find out you're not going to win, at least play because then at least that's practice, right?
Yeah. And you can figure out what you need to change.
What other people are using more often than not. Maybe you'll learn something. Maybe you'll learn something about your own deck that you need to change.
It very much sounded like that guy was one that was just like, I'm not gonna learn anything.
No,
I'm doing it right.
You know what?
He
He deserves it if he's gonna be.
Have
like
you ever
that.
played a card game before, like a trading card game like this before? Ever?
I have not.
There are times that you can just get completely fucking frustrated and just like get so mad, especially because you're competitive, right?
Yeah.
You would get. I could see you getting so mad. You're like, "Fuck this! I'm done. I don't."
I would. I
Yeah,
do. I did. I started trying to get into Magic, and I'm like, screw this.
Yeah, super control.
I feel like, yes, I'm very competitive, but anytime it's based on
Like luck.
somewhat of luck, and to me, drawing the right cards is somewhat of luck, I never get that mad about it. Don't get me wrong. I'll still be like, well, fuck, this is stupid. I could have won that if I got this, this, and this. But I would not be like, I'm fucking quitting. Like, I wouldn't be that mad about it.
He's not. He was like he was not like super upset. He was. I think he was just like he'd had a frustrating day and was just like,
Just said, nah, I'm done.
"Yeah, I'm good. I'm done."
It's understandable.
And I was like, "Yeah, I get it." Because again, we had at that point that was last round. We had been there for 6.5 hours. So everybody's getting a little grumpy by the end of the day.
Yeah.
So
Now, an important question. I told you to go get Kane's chicken.
I didn't.
You son of a bitch.
Seen that after I literally I was where was I at? I think I was almost to Farmington before I looked at my phone and you're like, you know what? I had the thought yesterday of like, hey, I can go get Cane's.
Yeah.
And then I forgot today. I was just so tired.
I don't know that you would really like it because there's a key ingredient
What?
in Cane's. The sauce.
Well, it depends what the sauce is.
Well, that's the thing. It's like a hodgepodge of shit, and I don't know that. Would you even try it? Is the question.
Sure.
Okay. Then I think you would like it, but because it's really good. It's the best part of Cane's. Don't get me wrong. The chicken is great.
I'm trying to think.
Like it's the best fast food chicken that I've had.
Yeah.
I saw a ranking of that, a more recent ranking of most popular chicken restaurants, like
Yeah.
chain restaurants. Cane's wasn't on there.
I know because there's not that many of them.
Yeah, it's a very small
It's a very small chain.
Was it just like St. Louis area?
No,
I don't think it's
in the
just
South,
St. Louis,
right?
but it's
South.
yeah. It's not as big as Chick-fil-A or Popeyes, which are probably your top two.
With that, definitely.
Popeyes was ranked top.
Popeyes for like the biggest, like a big like fast food is like my favorite.
Depends on what I get. If I'm just getting chicken strips,
You don't
no.
like the chicken.
I don't like their chicken strips.
Sometimes the chicken strips are hit and miss. Sometimes you get really good ones, and then sometimes you get the ones that are like kind of like rubbery and chewy.
Yeah, I feel like I lean more rubbery and chewy every time I get there. So I just get their chicken sandwiches, which are fucking phenomenal.
Their chicken sandwich is awesome, and I'm not a
They're
big
beyond
chicken
my
sandwich.
favorite now because I've discovered their sweet heat sauce, which is delicious.
Yeah.
And it, like, just dip your fries in the sauce after you eat your wings. It tastes like fries that are flavored like Caribbean jerk chicken. It's
Yeah.
delicious. It's so good.
They also have McDonald's has a chicken sandwich now.
They've always had a chicken. It's called a McChicken.
No. They have like a different style of. It's not a McChicken. They have a different style.
Do
of
you
chicken
remember when they
sandwich.
had the chicken?
McCluck.
Then they had the chicken selects.
I think that's actually the name.
No, it's
Yeah, I
not.
do remember the chicken selects.
they-
It was really good.
Yeah, and they limited how many you could buy because people were buying like
Too many.
8.
Yeah.
not 8, like 36.
Why would you buy that many?
I don't know.
So it
You
is
take them
a
home and freeze them and save them for later.
the chicken sandwich is a bacon Cajun ranch McCrispy.
Oh yeah, I have seen that on my
It is.
McDonald's
It's
app.
fucking good. Sam had it, like, because we came home from St. Louis, and she got it, and I was like, "Are you gonna let me try buy it, or do I have to buy my own?" Because I just really wanted a burger at that point.
Yeah.
And she was like, "No, I'll let you try buy it." Like, okay. And then I took one bite of it, and I went, "I should have fucking got this." I was so mad at myself.
Yeah.
It's very good. Okay. Now you talked about
no,
play.
what
Hang
about
on.
movies?
Well, no, I
No,
did
he
movie.
said his movies.
I did a movie, but I have a proposition for Yu-Gi-Oh.
Okay.
Because I went to this tournament, right, and there's a lot of people there that are there with like big groups, like 3-4 people groups.
Yeah.
I want us all to go to a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament.
I feel like that's pushing a lot, but
I think we would all have fun if we were there together.
As long as we bring nose plugs, yeah.
Yeah.
Can I bring a can of deodorant with me?
This would be after, I teach you guys how to play Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do that first, because the only thing I know is to yell, "Baby dragon!"
I don't want to play Yu-Gi-Oh. I watch.
You don't want to play Yu-Gi-Oh.
I want to play Yu-Gi-Oh.
Why not?
He's saying he wants a team.
I don't like competitive card games.
Okay, fair. It's a proposition. That's all.
I don't even like poker.
Oh, poker's so fun though. There's money involved. I don't want to say no, because I would, but man, is it gonna be hard to find time to do that.
Schedule it out like 6 months in it. Well, not 6 months, but like 3 months.
No, I probably need 6 months.
I don't know if they even give 6 months notice.
That is the thing though, because we talked about doing a Yu-Gi-Oh, like,
We should.
no, we talked about doing a Yu-Gi-Oh episode, but also filming it and me and you playing each other while he's teaching us how to play.
Oh, it's gonna suck. So we're gonna.
It's gonna be bad,
Yeah.
but I'm all for it.
I'm gonna bring a ditto. Thanks, Logan.
Yeah, you're welcome. So now you talked about that. Let's just jump into video games. Have you been playing any other than your Yu-Gi-Oh game that you play on your phone?
I don't play on my phone.
I thought it was on your phone.
I
mean,
play
it
some
is-
of the
it
La
is.
Computadora.
It is on your phone. You can. It would kill your battery.
Well, everything kills your battery if you
Oh,
play.
phone. Yeah, but no, I play it on my computer.
Oh, well, do you play any other video games? Have you played any other video games lately?
I played, I don't know, 15 hours of Manor Lords.
That sounds familiar.
It's a city builder.
It's newer.
Yeah,
That's why it
came out
sounds
in
It was a couple. It was a month
April.
ago.
Yeah,
Month ago, yeah.
yeah, it's good. I liked it.
It looks really good. I haven't got a chance to. I played Banner Lords. I have not played
Manor Lords.
Manor Lords.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's definitely a game like Logan would like because it's like city planning and building. It's very
That's right up my
and
alley.
Ethan.
Yeah.
I know. Have I played anything else? I started replaying Mass Effect, kind of fallen off because life.
Yeah.
And that's probably about it. I'm excited for EA College Football 25 coming out in July. I don't know.
It cracks me up. that
You
You
add-
love sports games the way that you do. Like, don't get me wrong. I get it. Because sports are fun.
Yeah.
And it's fun to play those games. But there's a stretch where I start to struggle. Like, I've been away from NBA 2K for a good
Oh, I don't
while.
play NBA 2K anymore.
I could probably jump back in now.
Probably I haven't played it in 3 years. I think.
Yeah, it's been much longer than that.
I think
for me.
21 was the last one I played.
I think 20 was mine. No,
that's
I
not
don't,
that.
I don't even think it was
names-
20.
He goes much longer, and then he names a year before me.
I think it was longer than that. 18?
I mean, I don't know.
18.
I can't tell you.
No. 18 would have came out in 17, correct?
Maybe
I've not played it since 2018. I can tell you
somewhere
that much.
there.
Because I've not played it in the new house.
Okay, I believe you.
So now, Ethan, your video games.
Oh, are we done talking about sports games?
Yeah.
Thank God. All right.
I just named one. He went on this diet.
I've only like the past few weeks. I've only been playing 2 games.
Satisfactory.
Satisfactory. Well, we're playing a mod called Satisfactory Plus, which just makes Satisfactory even less satisfactory. So because
This
it's
is the point where Jared falls asleep.
I don't even know what Satisfactory is.
it's basically you're making production lines and getting resources just to get to different levels in the game until you complete it. That's it. This exacerbates that. So it makes all those stages that much harder because you have to it expands all the production lines out to some unquantifiable level. And it's
Unbearable.
in a way, yes. At the same time, I'm enjoying
The work.
problem solving.
You are a dwarf and you yearn for the mines.
What can I say? I enjoy the problem solving aspect of the game.
Yeah.
More than anything else with the game. Other than that, I would suggest that other people save themselves because it is, I think this certain playthrough, I think we are 80 hours in and we're in phase 3.
Eek.
Of how many?
4, but it's
So long.
each one is twice as long as the last. Yeah, so it gets a huge, expanded. It's awful. So I'm playing that because I like the problem solving. Plus, I'm playing with people that I like playing games with like this. So that's a big deal. I can play almost any game as long as I'm playing with people I like playing with.
Yeah.
And then I've been playing Warhammer 3, Total War Warhammer 3. Came out with their new patch. It's called Thrones of Decay. If you know anything about Warhammer, Total War Warhammer 3, you know they've been on the rocks. Sega has basically had all, like 2 or 3 layoffs this year, just within CA.
I didn't know that.
I think it may have been 2 layoffs this year.
I've not paid a whole lot of attention to Total War.
Anyway, they had a patch come out and it flopped called the Shadows of Change or something like that. And it flopped because people didn't feel like the pricing method, which I know CA's always had a problem with their pricing method because we're talking like there's so many expansions per game and they're all $25 or $30 or $18. It's a lot of money. You're talking like just to get every little piece of every game and to buy all 3 games, which you don't have to do now, but you did it first.
Yeah.
It was upwards of $300 or $400, and that's a problem.
So
and I admit, so the new thing they're doing is instead of their new Lord packs,
Yeah.
instead of making you pay for the whole thing, now they split it up. If you only want one of them, you can pay for it, or if you want all 3, you can get a reduced price on them as a pack.
Now, how does that work with the older ones? Because did
They
ever
haven't changed it yet.
Okay.
This is the first time they've done it, so I think they're testing the waters.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because that was going to be a question. Because 3 hasn't added to where you can play with the older characters, have they?
Any of the base characters, yes. So any of the base
Okay.
characters that came out
From
with
previous-
Warhammer 1 and
or
Warhammer
Warhammer
2,
yeah.
you can play just by owning Warhammer 3.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Oh.
But any of the expansion content that for any one of those that you
have
have
to-
to pay for separately, you still have to pay for separately at the original prices, which is another problem.
Gotcha.
So they've had a bit of a weird situation here, but Thrones of Decay sold really well, and it's been received really well because, well, one thing that they did in Warhammer 3 that was really sometimes concerning for people and interesting for people is they started taking some stuff from Warhammer 40K
Yeah.
and putting it into the Warhammer Fantasy universe, like the demons and stuff like that, and certain war machines now. So now that they have new tanks on the battlefield, they're functioning just like they do in 40K. They have new gun mechanics in the game for like dwarves was a big part of this update. They've got new things, and it's basically just to say since CA already has an agreement with Games Workshop, now everyone's just thinking that their next goal, their next game they're going to put out in the Warhammer series is going to be Warhammer 40K, which is going to be entirely different than any of their other games. So if you're into those sort of like combat sims, but they're top down, like super like micromanagey tactical stuff,
Strategy games.
yeah. So that is going to be an entirely different ballpark than anything we've had before. There's been rumors about a Star Wars one, but I think they're bunk because there was old rumors about it, but they're not. Sega's not going to want to pay for that sort of content, that IP.
I also look at it. It's actually funny that came up because there's a Warhammer sale going on right now.
It's Skulls Week.
Yes.
This is the end of Skulls Week.
And I just so happened I was like, I'm going to look and see because I was looking to see if there was a 40K style of Warhammer. So it's interesting that you said they're supposed to be coming out.
Well,
with
they've announced a new one supposed to be coming out in September, a new game called Space Marines,
Yeah.
which looks really neat.
Yeah.
It's where you're playing one of the Warhammer 40K super soldiers called Astarte, whatever it is. And it looks really neat. It looks really cool. Looks like it's going to have a feel somewhere between like a story-based game and Helldivers. This is what it looks like it's going to be a combination of.
Interesting.
So it's multiplayer. So we could play that. I will want to play that. So
I'm all for it.
Zinch wills it.
I feel like Warhammer,
Magnus did nothing wrong.
like Total War Warhammer 3 specifically, you would like, Jarrett? Like, it's very strategy based.
There's a degree where I just also check out of strategy games. Like there's to me there's almost like sometimes too much micromanaging strategies. Like I'm
probably
done.
wouldn't like
I'm done. I don't.
You
like
can
it.
run. You can run them to where most of the time you're just running the battles. You don't have to fight all of them. You can auto resolve.
Yeah.
You end up auto resolving most of them anyway, because at some point it gets to a point where you're having so many a turn that it gets unwieldy, so that you're not fighting all of them. You're auto resolving most of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there was
It's all about outmaneuvering on the map more than it is on the battles.
what was that Star Wars game called?
Empire War, yeah.
I almost always auto resolve them unless it was like
That was a good game.
it would be like, oh, you're gonna lose this fight, and I'd be like, bitch, please, I'll go in there and win this fight.
That's exactly how
I
this
mean,
functions.
It's exactly the same.
But
And then
CA's
they-
had a problem because mostly in their past, the Total War series, they've made all these historical things.
like Total War
And
Roman.
they released Pharaoh,
Yeah.
and it bombed. And they put out an update, but I'm not sure that it's gone far enough. The same thing happened with Three Kingdoms with the China thing.
Did it bomb because it's a bad game?
They bombed because it just didn't have enough in it.
It's
Well, I mean-
a half baked game.
The problem is the Warhammer series that they've done has shown how far they can go and how interesting they can make the game. And now they've tried to re-release all these all these historical things, which honestly, there's not a lot of difference between the different factions. There's really not. I mean, like especially in Pharaoh and in Three Kingdoms, like you have archers, you have spearmen, you have people with shields, you have some that don't have shields, you have cavalry, and that's it. That's every faction, and it's
not enough for a game,
not enough for
a standalone game.
not compared to Warhammer, which is just every faction is just light years different from from each other, and it's really interesting. But really, the really interesting takeaway from the most recent stuff is how close they are getting to actually producing something that may be 40K, which is so far beyond anything they've ever made because it's going to be space stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
wow, I have no idea how that's going to work.
So Dark Tide,
Yeah.
that is 40K, correct?
Yes, it is.
And it's very similar to what's the fucking
It's Vermintide.
yeah.
It's
It's basically the same thing, just 40K,
Vermintide's more
right?
expanded because it had more time. Darktide has very little in it to
Gotcha.
do. There's really only 4 things to do. It's not great. It's not that the game doesn't function well.
Yeah.
Those are fun hack and slash type games with guns.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Gotcha.
But it's fun for a very limited amount of time.
That's one that I think would be fun for the three of us to play.
Like a Darktide.
Either Dark Tide or Vermintide.
Vermintide's really easy to
It's
get
great.
into and play.
I just don't know that you would be super into it. It's basically Left 4 Dead
Okay.
with
Well, with it's set in Warhammer Fantasy. It's a fantasy setting, Left 4 Dead.
it's fun. I mean, every time I played it, I've had fun. But
It's
because of the way video games work for me, I don't get to play a whole
It's
lot.
fun with people you like playing with.
Yes.
like most games are these days.
If
It's not
went
good
in,
on its own.
yeah, you went in by yourself, you'd hate it. So those are the two that you've been playing.
I can't think of anything else offhand.
Gotcha.
I'm looking forward a lot to the Final Fantasy 14 expansion that's supposed to be coming out in a couple months or so. Next month.
I've noticed that
next
there's
month.
been several people playing WoW. Did they just come out with a new expansion not too long ago?
They did something with Mr. Pandaria where
They redid it. That's right.
they're doing like a little short flashback thing.
Gotcha.
And
Ethan hates Mr. Pandaria.
Yeah, I know.
no, I don't.
I thought you did.
No.
No, he
No,
hates-
Pandaria?
Warlords of Draenor.
He hates Kung Fu Panda, which came because of Mist of Pandaria.
I didn't. No,
other way around.
No.
Is it the other way around?
Mr. Pandaria came out because Kung Fu
I like
Panda
Kung
came
Fu
out.
Panda and I like Mr. Pandaria. I don't like the fact that they decided to release the race Pandarian
Gotcha.
because Kung Fu Panda was a thing and they made Monk a race.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because of Kung Fu Panda, because it was just gimmicky.
Gotcha.
He likes peanut butter. He likes chocolate. He don't like peanut butter in his chocolate. I mean, you do probably.
I
say,
do.
who the fuck doesn't like
who
Reese's?
who the
It's the old. It's
sort
the
of
old,
psychopath do you think I am?
Yeah.
Who doesn't like Reese's peanut butter cups?
Don't worry, Jeremy will get that joke. Old Jeremy.
It's a joke from
Yeah.
that comes out in Family Guy too.
Yeah, but it's like it's an old Reese's joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
So I'm the last one to go for video games.
Sorry I took so long.
You're good.
Oh, I did remember another video game that I did start playing.
What's that?
Octopath Traveler.
I feel like I've seen that, but I've never played it.
JRPG
Yeah. Yeah.
for the Switch, but I got it on the PC.
Yeah. I have only been playing Rainbow Six Siege. I've not got to play a lot of video games, and I finally re-downloaded it because Jamie was talking about it. And actually, it was because he was streaming it one night whenever everybody was in the Discord, and I jumped in and watched him, and I was like, I could play better than this.
I knew that's right.
And it's literally what got me to re-download it. And then it didn't work right for like 2 months, or not that long. It was probably like 3 weeks. And then they pushed out an update, and it fixed my problem. My problem that I was having was whenever it was doing the initial loading screen, it would not lock my frames to the rate of my monitor.
Mm-hmm.
And so it would then give me 3,000 frames a second, and it would crash the game before I could even get anything to happen.
So there was no way to lock it or VSync it?
I think there was a way to, but the one I seen was way too complicated for my ability, so I just said, fuck it.
They're like, you have to go in and mod it. And
Yeah, like you had
It's
to,
one of those, like, it's like the Unreal system.
yeah.
So like if it gets too many frames, the game is just like dead.
Yeah. And that's what it did. So I've been slugging myself in the face with that pretty much every chance I get here lately. And it's exactly like I remember.
you hate it now, don't you?
No, I love it.
I know
It's
you love it and hate it.
it's definitely a love-hate situation. I join a game, and I've not played any ranked. I refuse to play ranked unless I have a team.
Why would you play with randoms?
There's people that do. There's people that jump
Those
in.
people are crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you may have to now. I don't know that this is fact, but I think I remember hearing something about you had to, like, you couldn't queue up to go into ranked with a team now because of people basically guiding people through and making them have a higher rank and ruining shit. But I don't know that that's factual. I don't know where I've heard that, and I don't know if it's factual. So don't quote me on that.
That would
Counterintuitive?
Yeah, I was just say defeat the purpose of.
Yeah. But I basically join a standard match, and as soon as it puts me in the game, I send out a chat message to my team. I suck. I'm sorry. It's just that. And then I expect them to expect nothing of me. Some of them still expect me to be God, but
Some of them were just like, "Hey, can you be better than a complete absolute garbage?" And you're like, "No."
well, one of them, I literally put, I suck. I'm sorry. This is the same person that commented both times. He commented once, it's like, it's okay, we're all bad, no big worries. It's like, all right, no big deal. And then I'm the last one alive, and I get real nervous when I'm the last one alive.
Yeah.
Not just because I'm the last one alive, but because near the end of the round, they end up, like, you hear like a heartbeat and stuff. Like, the way they do the sound engineering, you hear a bunch of shit going on, and like music is building as it goes near the end, and you can hear the clock ticking, and it gives me anxiety. Well, of course, I miss every shot that I have on that.
And they're like, "God damn you!"
And the same guy that had commented about, "Don't worry, we all suck," immediately after I missed a shot that I probably should have hit, he was like, "You are literally the worst fucking Rainbow Six player I've ever seen." And I was like, "Bro, you just said we all suck, and I'm the last one alive. Like, go fuck yourself. You shouldn't have died so quick."
I don't know how you fucking survived this long,
Yeah, basically.
but you should be stoned to death in the street.
Although earlier today I did say, "I suck, guys. I'm sorry," and then I turned around and
ring on your doorbell and it just hit you in the face with a rock. Yeah.
I turned around after saying I sucked, and I got like 10 kills. And I was top of the leaderboard. I got MVP that game.
And they're like, "Oh my god, you suck."
Yeah.
He's a liar.
Yeah. And then I
Fuck yeah,
then proceeded to suck ass the next game.
That's how those types of games are.
Yeah.
Because really it functions like a MOBA. It's just a FPS MOBA.
Well, my issue that I have, and it's like I can aim, that it's coming back to me. That part is coming back, and I'm getting better at it. The issue that I have is I don't remember the maps for the fucking life of me.
And Siege is a game of you have to know your maps and angles.
Yes. And
That is-
I can't remember them for the fucking life of me. So what I do best is I just leave the site and I go find somewhere, and then it either works out or it doesn't work out.
See, you know why it works out for you sometimes? Because
No one expects me to be there.
Exactly. They're like the meta's like, oh, they'll be like, this in this corner of this room, and they're like, there's no one here, and you're like, hi guys.
Yeah. I did do something really dumb where I droned in and I just didn't look to my right before.
Chick is calling us.
I didn't. I looked left because I was like, no one's gonna be here. It's a tiny sliver. Why the fuck would they stand there? Guy was standing there.
Because it's a tiny sliver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just big enough that you could hide from. And I went, I'm a fucking idiot. It was great. Because not only me died, another teammate died. It also was stressful because so I droned, and after I kept droning and didn't immediately ping somebody, I guess the person that was outside the door was like, okay, it's good to go. So they broke down the barricade and went in and then got both of us shot because I was still like messing with the drone. Like I literally came out of the drone to getting shot. I was like, what the fuck? It gave me a heart attack.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. So we talked about video games. We talked about TV shows and movies. Is there anything else that we need to talk about as far as nerdy things? We talked about Pathfinder too, so we did talk about that.
Is there any news?
The only news,
Nerdy news?
the
Computer
only-
news?
I'm excited to talk about the build a PC stuff because there's a lot of stuff that I've been seeing lately that is fun or looks fun.
Yeah.
But we'll save that for the actual episode. Like the AI monitor. Have you seen that? It's supposed to help in first-person shooters and whatnot. Fuck, you sidetracked me. I was on one. Oh, the only news that I seen an opinion puff piece today on Furiosa. They basically were like, we don't need Mad Max anymore. Was the opinion.
Fortnite doesn't think so. I saw that trailer for their new thing. Yeah. It's a Mad Max style
Yeah, they do that. They
vehicle thing.
basically live off of media now.
Pretty much.
As soon as something comes out, they're like, let's do it.
Yeah. They're
I'm not the biggest
capitalizing.
Mad Max fan, so
There is a Supernatural video game.
what?
I seen that coming out.
How the fuck? How the fuck?
I don't know how it
One of
works.
the key parts of the game is drinking whiskey.
It's saying, son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch eating pie.
Yep. Eating pie. Maybe that's like maybe it's like an old like
I'm not gonna lie. I would. I'll
like
play
Resident
it,
Evil
probably.
4 type game and all your health is pie.
I don't know if it's some sort of like.
Apparently, it's not the first one.
There was another one.
Yeah, the Supernatural role-playing game is a role-playing game by Margaret Weiss Productions that released in 2009.
It's a point and click adventure.
No, this one,
I'm joking.
Is it
I'm joking.
tabletop? Or is it actual?
I
Like,
could see that.
yeah, that I could see. Is it a tabletop game or is it like an
no,
actual video
it's an
game?
actual video game.
It's a role playing game.
Well, that one is a role-playing game.
Well, I know that's what I'm.
I don't know that
That's
it's
the one
not.
you're talking about.
No,
Is
I'm
the- I know
talking.
the
There's
old
a
one.
there's a new one
know.
coming out.
But you ain't told us anything about the new one. You just told us about this old one.
Okay, yeah, that one is a tabletop. The role-playing game is a
That's what, it
tabletop.
sounds like a name for a tabletop game. To
Well,
me.
there's a picture of the video game right above it, so that's what made me think it was just old.
Are you sure it's not like is this not a video game based on the role playing game?
It could be.
That's very much what it
I
seems like. It probably
couldn't tell you, but I've seen a couple clips from it. I've not seen anything substantial that's made me be like, I want it. But at the same time,
So it looks like dog shit.
yeah, it doesn't look good.
Okay,
It doesn't look bad. Like I've seen worse. I've seen better.
that's not a.
It's not a comforting thought.
Yeah. No.
But unless you guys got anything else we need to talk about,
I guess before we go, like what's coming up, like movies, TV shows, because we got Hot D coming. This
Got some
summer.
hot D action
Got Lord of the Rings supposed to be coming out, right?
in August. Yeah.
August, right?
Which is weird because they haven't released a trailer or
Yeah,
a
I'm
real
expecting it.
trailer.
I'm expecting it
They
in
have
June.
They released their trailer, but it was
teaser more.
is a teaser.
Yeah.
I actually added a couple things last night actually to the watch list.
Hot D,
Hot D,
the Bear.
the Acolyte. I
Acolyte.
have not added the Bear. I need to add it.
June's packed.
Yeah.
X-Men 97.
Yeah.
Because we're going to talk about that at some point.
Yeah.
Agatha is coming out.
Yeah.
September.
I was like,
September.
I'm actually interested in that.
It was originally like pushed for June, but they delayed it.
yeah, because it's supposed to be a fucking spooky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's probably gonna end in October
Yeah.
around Halloween, which is when it should have.
Good. It should have come out in October anyway.
Well, it'll probably end in like on the week of Halloween. I bet.
They should have
I
released
almost
it
guarantee
in full the week before Halloween.
The day before Halloween.
The week before Halloween.
I mean, yeah, give people time to watch it. But all right. Well, that will. You got something else?
Deadpool and Wolverine comes out in
I mean, yeah, that comes out soon.
July.
That's one that I would probably go to theaters to watch.
I'm trying to think of it.
I don't know that I actually will, but I would.
Are we gonna watch Hot D here?
Like after D.
Because I'm assuming you're gonna watch it after D&D anyway.
I don't know.
I know you're gonna be tired.
I don't know that he will because he's got now that he works.
But I don't care about that.
He's a working man.
Yeah, I wasn't working before.
Well, you're an early working man.
There you go. I don't know.
But you're old enough to know now that sleep, though it's pleasant and helps, doesn't really matter.
No, it fucking matters, Ethan. It
doesn't
fucking matters.
Matters to a degree.
When it's 100 degrees outside.
Yeah.
There's a point where it
125
doesn't
where else? Yeah, no, it fucking matters. You ain't got the energy if you only got 3 or 4 hours of sleep to go through a 10-hour day. I don't, at least. I don't have that ability anymore. I need as much sleep as I can get. So probably
I
not.
guess you're right. I sleep at work, so it's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Sorry, Colin.
Fuck you, Ethan. Yeah, no.
That's why I took this job. I'm gonna be totally honest.
Because you can sleep at work.
No, because he has narcolepsy.
it's easy.
It's narcolepsy.
That may actually be true.
I know it's fucking true, Ethan.
I can fall asleep. I've fallen asleep here doing the podcast before.
Yeah, so probably not. I'm probably gonna watch it Monday after I get home from work.
That's fine,
Unless you're gonna cut D&D short.
I'll tell them to fuck off.
I'm not saying we
Fuck
can't
off
play.
or watch Hot D.
I'm not saying we can't play, but it has to be like we're done at 9.
I can do that. I can do it. I can kill them all at 9 o'clock.
Every night.
Yeah, make a new
there's
character. We're dying again next week.
You better have a second one in your back pocket. Remember, we can't do juniors. All right, that we have bullshitted for an hour on this, roughly.
Yep.
I know we could keep going. We could keep going for 3 more hours, but we're not going to.
I don't know actually how long I can keep going.
Yeah, you're gonna fall asleep.
I got some factories to organize.
My ass is falling asleep.
All right,
I'm probably not going to bed for like another 3 hours. So
I'm sure because you don't work tomorrow, right?
no,
Yeah, so you're definitely
I don't
not
work for 2 days.
selling. I work tomorrow.
Get fucked.
It is what it is. We thank you guys for listening. We appreciate it. And use the links in the description to find all our other fun shit. And you can join us and actually tell us what you want us to watch for episodes. That's the thing. You can just tell us, watch this or play this.
Well,
and
Yeah,
You can tell us. We
especially
may not
play
agree.
this because I'm like my entire group of friends I play with tell us what to play because we don't have anything that we weren't wanting to play with. We're all like trying to find something.
yeah. I seen Valheim's getting an update.
God, I can't do it again.
I'm not saying you have to. I'm just
Like
saying
the
it's getting an
fourth time.
update. Yeah. Either way, thank you guys for listening. We will catch you on the next one.
Deuce.
Adios.